Hey everyone, we just shot this really fun class over on our Facebook Live show, and we're showing how to make wire hooks for your ornaments.
We are, and you don't have to have those little messy green kind of smushy ones. These can be as ornamental as the ornaments itself.
I know you worked so hard on these ornaments, you may as well put it on a fancy hook.
With cute little spirals and bends, and it's all smooth, and some of them are even hammered flat.
And we show you how to wrap beads on the hook as well. There's a lot of information in here, but just remember we shot it live, so we're talking to customers and answering questions from viewers, but we've got it archived here for you. It's good times. Let's get into it.
Check it out. Happy holidays, it's the holiday season. With Beaducation Live, we're coming to you live through your computer. It's Lisa, Kelly, and Mel McCabe.
That's good. She just does that. We didn't rehearse that. I was like, yeah, you introduce it, I'll go. And bam.
We did
Song.
What are we doing today?
So we're going to make hooks for your ornaments.
Yes!
Cute, huh? We're going to show all kinds of different ones. And that image that I just showed, I'll show it again, is sort of like, this was my Christmas tree last night. I took these pictures.
Oh, wow.
So the one on the left has a pretty hook. It's the same ornament on the right, but with a crappy one I got from Target, which is fine. I mean, it's fine. It's subtle, whatever. But if you want to dress up your ornaments, and I know you've been making a lot of ornaments because we've been selling a lot of ornaments, then it's great to make these little hooks. Okay.
Ooh la la.
Ooh la la.
Look at those hooks. Look at those ornaments. Those are so cute.
Those bad boys.
I do love that snowman one too.
That's so cute.
Yes.
I got to give it to my neighbors. That's their name. Okay. I'm going to actually just scoot them all out of the way and talk about them one at a time. Okay. Goodbye. This is kind of the one that we're going to talk about today. It's very basic.
But lovely.
But lovely. I mean, the most basic is actually, like this one is super boring basic, but it works. So this guy here is the one that I've been making for all my ornaments. Just a nice spiral at the bottom, give it a little bling, and something at the top to attach to the branch. Now typically when you're hanging ornaments, the branch is coming this way, so you want to orient the hook this direction instead of this direction, right? Because if I put this on a branch like that, it would be facing to the side. Sometimes the branches are wonky, and you can do that. But that is why we have ornaments typically just have a hole in the top, so you need a jump ring to attach the ornament to the hook.
Oh, yeah.
Makes sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. You know what? I always just have a fake tree, and then I manipulate the branches around to move the ornament the way I want it to move.
I had to do that last night. I was sitting on the couch, and something was facing the wrong way. It's making me nuts. Now, this guy here, I did the opposite. I just put it right through here without a jump ring.
Oh, yeah.
And had I just did an S hook, it would have been facing the wrong way. So, well, let me show you. It would have been facing the wrong way like that, right? So I just tweaked it to the side.
Oh, I see.
Gotten a little whacked up there. But this is nice. I mean, the image that I showed you before, the big spiral one like this, is it kind of can take some of the attention off of the ornament. So if you want to make it smaller and something more basic, you can do something like this. What I want to say first off and first foremost is basically what we're making here is a gigantic ear wire. So just keep that in mind. It kind of helps with the process. Here's another one that's kind of fun.
That's really cute.
Why do you think that's so cute?
Because it has my daughter's name.
Because I read it. Okay, so that's just plain basic ones. Here's another one. But I did do some with a bead on it. So I'm not going to show this particular one, but just know that it's exactly like we're making. I've just slid a bead on it, so it's kind of more fun. Oh
That's pretty.
And then this one I will show you how to make because I know everyone's going to ask.
I love that.
I just wire wrapped some seed beads on. I grabbed some seed beads. It's not the perfect color for this ornament, but
it looks pretty nice to me.
Yeah, you can see what I've done.
That's really pretty.
It just adds a little something, something. Now, most of this hook will actually be up in the tree, so you might want to slide it down more like that. I mean, my inclination is to always center it because this is how I make clasps, but that's not the case here, so this can go down. I mean, shoot, you can scoot it all the way down if you want.
The nice thing I like about these hooks, too, is even if you don't hang it on the tree and you end up wanting it as a wall hanging, like you're just giving someone a tree to have, like, you know, the Kelly's cabin, or if you're doing like a Hanukkah gift and it's just says like the Davis family and you have a star, like that'd be kind of neat that people could just hang it on their wall or hang it on their window too because they're so ornate.
Yeah, totally. I love it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is I'm just going to make a super basic one. And if you tuned in yesterday, we did a What's New show and we were showing these ornaments. And I made this for Mel for Christmas.
Isn't that cute?
Pretend like you never saw this.
Oh my gosh, it's so adorable.
Oh. And then when I
really
give it to you in 2 weeks, pretend again. Okay, so again, this is a wire that I chose to get in stock for this particular use. It's an anti-tarnish craft wire. It will stay silver colored. It's 16 gauge and it's very soft. See how malleable it is? I chose 16 gauge because it works well. You can do 18 gauge. I think I used 18 gauge here. As long as it's hard enough to keep its shape and you can hammer it. I think I used 18 gauge here and hammered it. So this is an idea.
It's lovely.
20 gauge, it's probably getting a little light unless you really hammered it. And the case here is not light visually, just light that it might not be strong enough. 14 gauge, I made one on 14 gauge. It felt a little much. This one might even be 14 gauge. I don't know. This one was sterling.
Wow.
Well, I just had a scrap piece sitting there, so I straightened it out because I didn't have any wire yet. I didn't have this yet. Okay, so let's talk about just making the basic shape. I'm going to use these tools right here. And this is the medium wrap and tap. This is just one of our heavy gauge wire cutters. This is so soft that I could cut it with my Tronics as long as I cut it back and not out the tip, but I just grabbed these to be safe. But again, this, even though it's 16 gauge, it's super, super soft, so it's not going to harm your cutters. And some chain-os. So I always straighten my wire first, either with wire straightening pliers or I do it in my hand. See that? So if there's any kinks in there, it's going to show up and it's going to be hard to get out after you've shaped it. You know, if you have like a kink right there. Makes sense. I'm just going to cut a random piece. 4 inches-ish. You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller. I'm not going to give you an exact recipe for that because it's all up to you and the look that you're going for. So let's just make a basic hook right now. I'm going to use my wrap and taps just because I want a decent sized loop here. So this would be the same if you were using your round nose. Hold it so that the tip is hidden inside. Roll away from you. Roll, roll, roll until it touches and you have a P. Okay. So we're making a gigantic ear wire. Now on this side, I'm just going to do a basic hook. I'll do...
Now you have a bee.
Yeah, give me a bee. I'm going to go up this high because I want it to hang down from a branch. I don't want it to get hung up in a branch. Okay, so now I have the choice if I just want to trim it and keep it plain or put a little spiral at the end. I think you know my decision there because I love me some spirals. So here's how to make a spiral. I'm just opening it up a little bit so I can grab that tip. I'm going to do what's called a closed loop spiral. And again, I know I'm going fast here, but you can look at the class on ear wires or after this live show is up and on the replay, you can just rewind and keep watching over and over again. Closed loop spiral, I'm going to grab the tip of the wire in the tip of my tool and just bend it up and shift until it is there. I mean, I could be done right now, right? There you go. Bam.
I know, that looks so nice like that.
Totally. I mean, that can be it. Sometimes I like to squeeze it in a little bit.
And I think some people would be surprised you use the flat nose pliers rather than like a round nose to do that. So you don't advocate the round nose.
Because this is such thick wire, and I'm not concerned with it being round in the middle, I'm just trying to form a kink.
Okay.
So I'm using the chain nose, so it's got a pointed tip, grabbing it, moving it around. Round nose, grabbing it with the tip would be very hard with this wire.
It could slip, I guess.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Like right then. Okay, now spirals, you hold your loop flat within the jaw. Let me give you a little zoom action on this. Meow.
Zoom, zoom.
Zoom, zoom. Hold it flat within the jaw of your pliers, letting just the side poke out that you're forming it around. And little scoots. Don't try to go from here all the way up to there. I haven't taught this in so long. I seriously feel like it's a recording. I've taught it so often. I love it.
It's awesome.
So if you squeezed really hard with your chain nose, which you likely did because it's a really thick wire, so you have to, you can hammer it out and it'll take off the little Mars.
Oh, okay.
So now we're left with this. We can do a variety of things. Call it a day. Stick it on here with a jump ring. Done. Cute. Mm-hmm. For me, it's a little straight. It's kind of boring looking. Mm-hmm. So I would probably just form it with my hand or last night I grabbed a lipstick and just put it in here to make this loop bigger. You can grab anything. Let's see, is there something here that we can grab? Grab the one of those disc cutter punches right there. Right here.
Okay.
The medium one. One over? Yeah, perfect. So this was just sitting on my bench. We're just faking it.
Yeah.
If you want it to be more round, just grab something.
Or I suppose you could even do a pen, too.
Yeah, a pen or your large wrap and taps, but I want it to come in just a little bit.
That's a great idea with the lipstick, though.
Yeah, it might have even been nail polish, actually. Or a bottle of essential oil. That's always nearby. So here is just a basic one, and from here I would open my jump ring. I wish I had my new jump ring.
I was just thinking that.
These are soft enough that I use my hand, but not everybody can do that. I have like a little nick in my fingernail. And right there. This gap, actually, now that I look, between the hole and the top of the ornament's pretty big, so you're going to need a pretty decent sized jump ring. I think this is like a 5mm. I mean...
And then you can always use the hook itself, and like you said, then just turn the hook differently.
Yeah, it ends up looking a little weird, though.
Yeah.
I'll show you on this one. So look at that.
So cute.
Super simple, super basic. I'll show you how to do an open spiral, because that's the only difference between these two, is that I did an open spiral to begin, and then I didn't do anything fancy on the end.
I like that.
As I'm hanging these on my tree at home, I'm realizing that sometimes you do want a little more length here. It depends on where it's going on your tree. I mean, the fact is, if you made it yourself and it's still malleable, if you wanted a little more length here, you just
turn it up,
roll up, use your finger to roll it in, and bam.
That's cool. Yeah. I like that.
Okay, so let's actually answer your question right there about just not using a jump ring. My stomach is going crazy.
You're opening it off to the side so as not to change the shape of the
That's right.
circle.
That's right. I'm going to take this off. I'm opening it. I can't see.
Sally's wrapping gifts while she's watching. That's pretty festive.
Nice.
I wish you could wrap mine. I haven't started.
Oh, I love wrapping gifts. You'd probably pay my kid to do it if you want. Okay, so let's just put this right in here and see the difference of what we're talking about. So if you had a weird branch that was coming this way and you wanted to hang it like that, it would work. Or I could have turned it the other way and hang it like that. But the other option is to, I'm going to hold this still because I don't want it to distort down there.
Sure.
And just
turn it
this way.
Yeah.
Again, you have a little bit of play there. It's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, if you didn't have that 5 or 6mm jump ring, I was just thinking.
Yeah, no, it's a great point. That's not bad.
No, it's pretty cute.
Right. You don't want the hook to be too distracting unless it's a big part of what you're making.
That's cute, though.
Okay, let's do this type of one with an open loop spiral, just really quick, and then I'll show you how to wrap on the beads, and then I'll be open for questions. Anything we got open for questions?
Tammy like the one where you put the hook right in there too. I like that you have options. You know, I do like that.
So here's a basic hook that, again, I got out of the way from Target, right? And it looked really dumb on my tree, basically because it's green. It did blend in with the tree, which was kind of nice. You can move it this way or that way, whatever direction your branch is going. But, you know, it's a lot nicer with a little something on it.
Totally. Can I totally put you on the spot and see, is it possible with like that one to manipulate that with the wrap and tap and make it look halfway decent? Because it's kind of like a great way to show wrap and tap can work for so many things, right?
Awesome. Good plan.
I don't know. I'm just curious. Maybe you can't reform the wire.
Of course you can. Yeah, it's
okay, let's check it out, you guys. And this was not planned.
This was not planned. I'm pulling really hard because it's so distorted that I want it to take on where I'm putting it.
Is that a harder method too?
Because then
okay.
Look how bendable it is. So we've got this. Let's go up here. Let's make a long one.
Because sometimes when I see those, the worst part of it is that they just are all smushed and...
Yeah. So that could,
even that is
just
cuter.
Do that.
I like knowing that you could do that with your wrap and tap. I love that.
That's a good point. I love that. Now I'm going to go do all of them on my tree. You can do a spiral there.
Yeah,
for sure.
Too, yeah.
You can do a spiral there. This is very soft and it didn't seem to scratch off. So
yeah, that's cool
that
too.
Would be, let's see. These olive hooks. Okay.
Oh, that okay.
So that would sit like this. I'd want a jump ring or meh. And just pop it in there.
Oh, yeah. I do have to admit, though, as cute as that looks, I like the ones with the thicker craft wire. They do look beautiful, especially if you're giving them as gifts.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. So, but thanks for showing that, because that is a really good point. Open spiral. Okay. Open spiral, I'm still going to start with my chain nose. Why? Because I can hold it better. I can hold the tip of the wire better in my hand. Now, I'm going to do a spiral here, but I'm just going to be very loose with my wire. So I'll try to face it up here so you can see. I'm just going to come around, shift. Is it focusing? Continue. Oop, I'm out. Let me go give myself a little more space here. Get that out of the background. Okay. So you can see I'm just starting with a loop, but now when it comes full circle, I'm not going to have it touch. I'm just grabbing really lightly and I'm just moving the wire. I'm not using the tool to shape it. It's not bending against my tool. The tool is just another hand.
So you're kind of moving your left hand. You're moving moving the wire.
I think I'm going a little bit on both, but yeah, you could just slowly so you don't get any weird kinks or right. You go as far as you want.
That is really cool.
Yeah, and then let's cut this a little bit. Again, always with thicker wire, cut towards the back of your tool because that's the strongest part, and you will preserve the tip of your tool even more.
And I say always cut with glasses on. I can't tell you how many times I've almost lost an eye.
Girl, good call. Let's do a little basic hook. So this could be it. That makes me nuts. Just the ending. It's perfect because you're not going to see it in the tree, but I would grab... I want a more finished look, so I'm going to grab the tip.
Just turn it a little.
Yeah, just bring it up and squeeze it in.
Yeah, that's awfully cute. And then it's not going to be scratchy, right?
You don't want to hurt your tree.
Well, but also you don't want to hurt yourself when you're grabbing those the next year, right?
Yeah, I think that one might be my favorite so far, honestly.
That's awfully cute. It kind of looks like a swan with that little nose.
It does. Now, if I was concerned, I made this out of a thinner wire or something, and I was concerned about the hardness, I would put it right on my bench block and tap, 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 either with a chain nose. I mean, hit it with your chain nose. Hit it with a chasing hammer. It will give it the flattened look and make it very strong. Or hit it with a rawhide or plastic mallet, and it will not change the shape of the wire. It won't flatten it, but it will strengthen it. Okay. What do you think?
I love it. I love it. I think it's just perfect for rubies in my tree.
I know, it's so cute. Okay, so let's talk about wrapping on. This was kind of something I just did last night because I was like, we got to jazz this up a little bit. This is some seed beads strung on a thin wire and then wrapped onto this, which I'm going to do. But a couple things I want to explain is that it doesn't really matter what wrapping wire you use. This is what I just had on my table. It's like a 28 gauge. It's way too thin. I mean, it worked, but I don't need it to be that thin. So if you have 28 gauge, great. I wouldn't do bigger than 22 because it's harder to manipulate, and also you're limited by the hole of your bead. So if you are using seed beads that don't fit on 22 gauge, well, then you can't use it, right?
That's a good point, yeah.
So I've got some beads strung on here. This is copper. I grabbed this off my table. I think it was I think it's 24 gauge. And let's just for fun, for this particular thing, I like to wrap it onto my hook after the hook is made. Let me just get this guy off.
Oh gosh, yeah, I can't imagine
Here.
doing it without that.
Yeah, otherwise it's sitting there and you're trying to shape it. So
Yeah.
this is, again, I'm not going to give you a perfect recipe. This is a really fun technique that I want you to practice a whole bunch before you do it. But I've got, I don't know, 6 inches of wire and like 1.5 inches of beads. I have enough here that I can hold onto it and brace it here. So now I'm going to coil. And if you need a review on coil, you can check out our How to Coil by Hand class, one of our very first classes we ever launched. Gosh, that was a long time ago, like 11 years ago.
Wow.
So I'm going to hold it still here. I'm going to coil away from myself around this. And I'm going to do like, I don't know. I'm actually going to open this up so I can get at it. No beads yet. Beads go out of the way. I'm going to do like maybe
3.
Sure.
Well,
Actually, I want to give it a little more
Punch.
length.
This is the part where you're supposed to go, salt and pepper's here, and we're in effect. 1, 2, 3. Because you're saying how you're going to show how to wrap, right?
I'm going to, yeah. Real good. Okay, so now I'm going to let the beads scoot up. Again, decision here is just design.
Yes.
How much of that do I want? On this one I had about the same, maybe a little bit more. Let the beads scoot up. I'm now going to wrap the beads on here, but I'm going to anchor my finger back here so that the beads don't just slide away.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm going to hold it soft enough that they do have a little give because they separate, right? See the separation? They have to.
Yes.
They have to. So
Or they
if
won't be
you're
able to
pushing
turn
real
around.
hard, it'll be like, I can't do it. But
And
just
they may not break
softly.
them.
Yeah, that's right. Let's get this.
I think, especially if you just decided to use like some Swarovskis too.
Yeah,
you got
wanna
to
do
probably
that.
leave a little more space.
So I've made it hard on myself because this hook is so big. But if I let go, I'm going right back to scoot them up. I'm not going to let them, and this is just a smaller amount of beads.
So cute though.
Yeah, I'm going to scoot that guy up. And then we have the other side.
I do love that.
Oh, a little
Ooh,
straggler.
one got away.
Okay, pretty cute, right? So
Yes.
when you're cutting this wire, you want to use a fine tip cutter. And don't come on top and cut it because you have a little part sticking out. Get the tip in there. Let's do this. Let's just have a wire class right here, right now. Get the tip in there and try to cut it where it's already flowing so that when you trim it off, it's no pokey.
I like it.
Not the end of the world for an ornament, but let's teach you good technique, right?
I agree.
So that one got a little funky because I was holding it. Just unwrap it till the funk is gone. The funk.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
Cute. Now that was just 1.5 inches. Clearly, when I made this one, I had more beads.
But I gotta say, it looks even cute like that. I love it.
Yeah. So do not ask me how many beads on how long a wire because you're going to have to play with that yourself. The different things that are going to vary in that recipe are, if I made this on a 14 gauge core base here, it would look different than I did it on a 20 gauge because I would have gotten less loops on this. So anytime you change the wire, you're going to have to change the recipe if you're looking to duplicate the same thing.
But I always say put more beads on, and then if you're done, then as you saw, you could take the rest of the beads off, right?
Yeah. So if this sat like that, it'd be cute. I mean, it's copper wire I would use.
I don't know. I kind of like the 2 different colors too.
Okay, yeah, I think we're done here. This is pretty basic. Again, if you're watching the replay, rewind. I know I went through it quickly, but that option is there for you. Right, Mel?
That's right. Thanks for joining.
Okay. We'll see you next time.
Happy
we're singing.
holidays.